All
was
right.
enjoying being on the
Hi.
other side.
Yes, welcome. Our special guest for today is very special. She's Joelle. She's a successful content creator, but I've known her since her acting days in more theater, no? And then, but now she's also a voiceover artist. She also does theta healing. Recently, we caught up when she invited me naman to be interviewed in her recent, radio station. But yeah, I really think it's cool that you're here, Joelle. Hi, how are you doing? How are you landing today? Kamusta ka?
Thank you for inviting me naman. Nakakatuwa like being on the other side, and I love how it's just always a nice exchange of stories. And yeah, salamat. Honored to be part of the conversations that you would like to have for your channel. And yeah, I've been taking it easy, slowing down since radio ended.
Yay! Yeah, so ano tawag dun, natuwa naman ako dun kasi so sanay ka na ikaw yung nag-i-interview. So ngayon, ikaw naman i-interviewin. Um, yes, so ano, you were telling me that you were just, resting for, the rest of July after the radio channel. And then like, what I said and what I observed is since the pandemic, I saw that you're being, a content creator that is out there. Can you tell us more about your journey, like what brought you to the things that you're doing now?
My gosh. What brought me to what I do now, it's honestly like a series of yeses to the opportunities that arrived. Yeah, hindi ko naman ever pinlano to create content. But I guess the pandemic, the world stopping was a good time for so many content creators to just try and start. But it started primarily because nung kaka-launch lang ng radio station namin, we had to look for other ways to make ourselves known because we couldn't launch traditionally. So at the time, our station manager said, go explore TikTok. It's new, it's booming now. Try to figure out how it works. Let's see how we can incorporate it. And it started with that actually. With the TikTok account of Q Radio. And then my then partner also figured it out. Tapos sabi niya, oh, sige, try mo na rin. Just try doing something, see what works. And it started for me as far as like content, di ba? Kasi parang may mga niches yan on TikTok. And it started with me just like reposting radio content that we had on Q. And then a few of my covers, parang mga kanta-kanta lang, just cause like as an outlet to perform. And then after a couple of like months of just doing a mix of that radio stuff and answering questions and things like that, it led to me sharing a story about how I met my boyfriend on Bumble. And that kind of clicked, and I enjoyed answering questions like that na when people started saying na parang, oh, wala na akong pag-asa sa Bumble, what do I do, ganyan. And then I use that as an opportunity to be like, oh nga, ito nga, here's how I do it. Here are Landy tips. Here are like things I would do online when I do online dating and when I would also date outside of it. So it was just like continuous questions that I was able to answer, and then before I knew it, it got deeper and deeper. Na parang aside
Yeah.
from me enjoying it, parang
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Na organic siya. Organic siya na nangyari lahat yun. Wow. And how are you able to balance it or transition, from the pandemic, from the lockdown? We all have the time to do that online. And then now na post-pandemic na, and I know you have a lot of, gigs and you host shows or the other things that you do. Like, is it easier or is it harder? What are the challenges of managing being online, creating content, continuously showing up for the community, but also doing your work that are in person?
it's harder, definitely. Like I can't imagine like the mental space that some who do it full time get to do when the world started opening up. And honestly, the content creator, the TikTok side kind of took a backseat because I had to focus on the other things. But it was tricky finding the balance because a lot of the opportunities I got were from TikTok as well. Like I was able to create my podcast, like a long form pretty much of my TikTok because of TikTok as well. Some hosting opportunities as well and other things were because of the TikTok. So I think what I would just do, what coming into it knowing kasi that the demand of TikTok, especially like with the algorithm, it was always been like the culture from 2020 to 2023 was just to like show up all over the past years, was to post at least once, twice a day. So sobrang demanding talaga siya. And I told myself, I cannot do this consistently na sobrang perfect and yeah, sobrang perfect and like everything's like curated. So early on, pandemic pa lang, I told myself, how can I create content every day without having to put on makeup all the time, having to put a proper setup. So I also kind of had to unlearn din yung yung using makeup and filters as a way to kind of hide behind it as a performer also. Parang stripped off of that and sometimes I would just post and create para lang makagawa, not and then just like removing all the fluff because the priority was to post
Uh,
every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so in that sense, it was also a good practice for, if someone's dealing with perfectionism or you're used to performance wherein everything is set up and has to be good, ganyan, ganyan. But then when it's like that, it consumes a lot of time and energy. And parang tatama rin ka na nga kung ganun, yun. Yeah. So would you say that now you have a regular habit now of posting every day and not caring even if, it's more natural or it's not super perfect?
Yeah, it's gotten easier for me to kind of let go of that. And what I would do, I think I found like systems in my head. Like I do have a little bit more time now, but what I would do when it comes to like creating content, parang okay, uupuan ko, oh, I have a free afternoon. I will try to make as many as I could na ano na para I don't like shoot every day or if sometimes there are moments na oh I know I need to respond to this right away. I need to make a video dun ko na siya nasisingit. But it's a system that's worked for me na so that I could at least post every day. For the most part, parang I've let go na rin of the control na dapat once or twice. There have been days na parang weekends hindi na ako nagpo-post and I'm like, it's okay. I can go back. I can always start. Parang ganun na siya for me.
That's a good perspective. That's a really good perspective. At saka okay nga rin yung isang upuan, then it's a you batch make. That's it, may bala ka na so that hindi ka in real time gumagawa. I
Yeah.
was also interested in your venture into theta healing. When did that happen? How did that happen? Do you still practice until now? Are you into other healing modalities this time?
So that happened during the pandemic. Sobrang perfect how I came across it. Um, a friend of mine just shared like a podcast episode where they guested Sanaya. And then I was like, huh, ano to? Na-amaze lang ako na what? They were able to like change so many things so quickly. And then that's when I started like stalking Third Eye Wellness, which I love that you're part of it as well. So I stalked them and stuff like that. Tas, initially I was just gonna go for a class, but then for a session, but then I had a lot of time and then for some reason parang nabudol lang ako or I was just called. I was called to just enrolling na in the basic DNA class. And I was like, okay, sige, why not? I didn't really know what I was signing up for. But dun sa first session pa lang, since it is a class, no, and there are a lot of like activities where you kind of like demonstrations pretty much. I think it was a really important sign when I was called when Maisha connected and to the creator, then I was called to be the demo person dun sa trial na yun. And then sobrang dami nang na-address for me during that first day and I was already crying and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. So I continued that all the way till the third, yeah, so the basic, advanced, and the digging deep part. And then for a time, a few months after that, I would practice on friends. Now I don't practice with other people, pero for the most part, when I get extra time, or when there are things that I want to like center myself, when I want to go back to my fears, when I want to go deeper and understand what's stopping me from doing what I do, I kind of go back to what I've learned from that as well. And honestly, a lot of my content the revolves around the questioning and the thought process from that I've learned from theta healing.
Wow, ang galing. Natuwa ako. And that also na, yeah, you have a platform wherein you can share kahit na short form or yeah, your podcast na long form and you can talk about these things and share them to a wider audience, that kasi it's easy for us to judge what we don't understand or just put it in the box that's called woo woo or whatever, but it's nice that you have experienced it firsthand and that yeah, you're using your platform for it. My next question is, what's next, or what are your dreams? What are your next, dreams and plans? Whether that's for the opportunities that you have or the projects you have in person, or for your podcast, or for your content creation.
Sakto nakakatawa 'di ba kasi like it was Lionsgate 8/8 yesterday. So everyone was just like manifesting and writing down their things. And nakakatawa cuz yesterday I've been doing a practice where I've been writing to future me, yung dearfutureme.org. So I got like two emails from past me from last year and from 3 years ago. And I was like, "Oh my God!"
Amazing!
Lang siyang balikan.
Dearfutureme.org.
Yes.
Matry
Have
mo.
you Yeah.
I mean,
So
I've heard of it, but and also the practice, but I didn't know that there's an actual website and then they will email it to you, yung ganyan. So that's cool.
yeah, so you forget about it completely as in they don't show it to you. So ang ganda, like side kwento lang, sobrang nakakatawa siya. So I've been doing it for a while. That's when you're like, ay, yay, I have an email from my past self, and just seeing how far you've grown. Yeah, so I did that as well. Yesterday or the past few days coming leading up to it. And honestly, my priority now of what's next is finding the right balance, because when it comes to content creation talaga, because you share so much about you, it really is draining. And it's still like I'm still in that journey towards finding the right balance of sharing what feels right while keeping my boundaries as well, not burning myself out. Yeah, I hope to continue again my podcast soon. Naka-break din kasi siya ako now. So parang ang daming mga bagay naka-on hold now. And in the semi near future, I'd be able to do like a one-on-one coaching na siya when it comes to like self-love and relationships and communicating and figuring out what you want for yourself as well. Kaya sobrang inspiring nung ano mo, yung Dyosa program mo, and just finding that. I was like, leading towards that as well, creating a
Right.
program
Yeah.
and helping others
I
heal also.
totally think that you can do it. I totally think that you can do it. Tawag dun, you have experience also, teaching, yung ganyan. And plus, ayan na na-build mo na rin yung platform mo. And plus, I would say, iba yung sarap nga rin. Ako now, I don't know if it's because of age, that I really enjoy the one-on-one setup. Um, Yeah, but I told someone nga the other day, I feel now that if you have a smartphone, there's so many ways you can make work online. Like you can sell
Yes.
PDF, you can sell an audio meditation, it could be a course, you can sell merch, yung parang ganun, or yeah, even just, real time na one-on-one sessions, or affiliate, like there's just, endless ways. But I also really agree with you with the whole, of course, the online community, they just see that content when it's out, and there is, yeah, they would like you, they would trust your brand or follow you, but everything that goes behind that, it's like you're your whole production team.
Yes.
Kasi ikaw na yung sa star, ikaw pa yung nag-script nun, i-edit mo pa yun.
Mhm.
Yun, ta's
Yeah.
parang yeah, at saka parang, ngayon na-realize ko rin na isang tricky is that I think napaka-human nung we wanna see that people are liking it, we wanna see that people are appreciating it and responding to it, ganyan. But
Mm.
parang when I'm not aware, I could like base, I don't know, my self-worth on that, on the numbers game, on that, and also feel so affected when there's a hater or there's a troll or ganun. Can I ask, like, how did you ever had haters or trolls or anything like that, and how did you deal with it, and how was it, emotionally for you?
It's part of it, especially when you're growing, no? Parang at some point it really is. And I think that's what I had to deal with the most, especially since I made that choice to not make myself up, not to put on makeup, not to do filters. So a lot of people would really target the way I look. Parang, oh my God, mukhang pagod na pagod. Oh my God, yung eye bags mo. Or like, oh, ayusin mo yung ganyan-ganyan. And I'm like, like, this is how humans look like, you know? And I don't want to fix up. When I can fix up, the game, mag-video ako. Pero pag ayoko, ganyan. Or, yeah, I've received really mean comments already. And there are days that just like affect me the most. Yung parang, ugh, sige, papatulang kita today. Ganun. And when I do that, it's primarily as a way to help others realize that you can stand up for yourself as well. You don't have to always, like, it teaches other people to stand up and say, hey, no, that's wrong, that's not okay for you to call people this and that just because like you can hide behind a photo of a cat or something. But mostly I just let it pass. Sometimes I'd make videos tas parang realize ko, hindi, gusto ko ba, hindi, sige, okay na, and then I delete it after, may ganon. And I just use those comments as a reminder na, okay, then this is going viral. Then that means like more and more people are seeing it. If I get hate, that means it's reaching more people. So kasama na siya.
Yeah, parang part and parcel talaga. It comes with the territory. Another curious question that I have is, was there any issue with relatives that family or close friends na parang they knew you as a certain person at a certain time? Like parang, did you ever had to deal with feeling awkward that you have this new persona or you're a different person, or feeling like you have to explain yourself to them, or something like that?
I struggled with that from like transitioning from TikTok to Instagram kasi parang for the longest time Instagram was like a personal thing, and then TikTok was there for other people to see. But then when people would message say that like friends, rather, when friends would say that they listen to my podcast or they watch my TikTok, I'm like, ha ha ha, oh my God, so alam mo na yung mga stories of ano ko, of all those little things. And I didn't have to really explain myself kasi very transparent na ako with my content. So it's more like, oh my God, sino na nagkakalat ako dito? Oh my God, so alam mo, pinagdaanan ko in a way in those processes. And so may hiya lang ako na, you saw that layer, but nothing really as far as having to explain myself anymore kasi it came with just owning my story, the great and the not so great parts of it. So parang no one could take that away from me anymore. Parang, oh yeah, oh, I was a very toxic person before. Okay, you can't use that against me. I know I was. I'm doing better now and all of those things. So ganun siya.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that's one of the gifts of that also.
Yeah.
Parang may empowerment din dun sa buong vulnerability na yun. Yung parang ganun, na parang, there's
Ah,
it, I'm not hiding anything, so whatever, you can say whatever you want. Yung parang ganyan. Well,
exactly.
yeah.
Tapos, I think that a challenge would be also like with religion, the conversation would
Mm,
mostly with my mom, my dad, pretty much. It's those things na raised Catholic as well, and just understanding that there's more. So the language, parang I geek out about the things that I've been learning, all the woo-woo things. And it's just freeing realizing na I'm like, but then there's more to it. And I think like discovering that religion is just also like different languages lang to appeal to whoever needs to understand it in the best way possible. Syempre may guilt pa rin that I'm still unlearning, I think, but it's also more freeing knowing that we can choose and we can just choose to be kinder, and yeah, like based out of fear as well, like get freeing ourselves from fear.
Wow. Do you miss, this is my last question. Do you miss being
Hmm?
on stage?
Yeah, I do. um it it's like an old friend that's just like, especially now that like with
Pwede
that
na,
there's so
meron na.
many productions, pero it feels like that little thing that I wasn't able to do, but I owe so much of that part of me to what I'm able to do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So parang minsan naisip ko, oh my God, mag-audition kaya ako ulit. Do I have the energy again to do that and to go through it? Or do I want it
Iba
enough?
kasi ang daming rehearsals, may
Yeah,
music, ang gabi na kayo
yun eh.
matatapos, tas parang, yung sweldo,
Yeah, it's not that like, do I want it
Be
enough
like
at this point?
21-year-old.
Yeah, especially if it's far away, tas every day, and then yeah, I'm sure you know that the everything that comes along, like you do it for the love primarily. So I'm like, do I want that enough? But do I miss it that much? I
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
but we'll see kung merong ano, just if an opportunity is there, I guess, and I feel like I'm aligned with getting it with everything, with the other things that I'm already committed to doing. Eh,
yeah,
di, sige, why
yeah,
not? Pero nakamiss din siya
yeah,
minsan.
yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Do you have any upcoming events that or we will put all of your links down in the description below, this video. But is there, yeah, anything that you want to invite us, so that we could attend your events or online or in person?
The goal is to come is matuloy yung event. I'm supposed to do like an online a live recording of my podcast before that didn't push through. So nakapause ako ngayon with my podcast. A lot of things are still up in the air,
Mm.
pero the people on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok will know when I post about it then. So it's still at JoelleOhwell everywhere, and kung di nyo pa napapakinggan, I have a podcast on Spotify called Paano Kung, may 108 episodes there. So maraming pwedeng habulan.
108. Wow. How long is an
Wow.
episode? 30? 1 hour?
15 to like 30 minutes, mga ganon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yung podcast is audio lang. So wala siyang video
May
component.
video. I do have some episodes with videos
Nasa
also.
YouTube yun. YouTube
On
naman. On
Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah, okay.
Guys.
Nag-video na pala ang Spotify. But
Mm.
108, that's, wow, amazing. I mean, that's an achievement. And ano
Kahit
yun,
ako nagulat eh.
are you interviewing or it's just you?
It's just me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to revive the podcast. Thank you so much for setting an example, with just taking care of yourself, just being okay to pause, to take a moment. I think that's really, really important. And yeah, for now, just really take care of yourself. Again, thank you for your time.
Salamat
And
kuya.
bless you and bless all of your projects.
Ikaw din. For more abundance, 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 and joy. Tayo dyan.